President.
Asanteni sana, tafadhali tuketi chini. Asante. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Yesterday, I got a call from Minister Nakumicha, and she was very insistent that this function must go on. I now know why. I tried to explain to her that I was away, but I didn't manage. That's why I am very pleased to join you today for the launch of this state-of-the-art microbiology quality control laboratory here at MEDS, a facility that will serve and advance healthcare in Kenya and in many other countries around our region. But today is bigger than just one facility because our health system, and more importantly, our shared ambition for universal health coverage is interconnected. Universal health care is not one thing. It is not one facility. It is a symphony of many elements coming together efficiently and effectively. It is facilities like this and many more, research, training, health workers, social insurance, local manufacturing, and other many components weaved together that will give us universal health coverage. Universal health coverage, therefore, is the sum total of all these units. It is their synchronous functionality and total alignment that provides us with the results that will make it possible for us to handle the health requirements of Kenyans. We are therefore here to mark a step forward in the right direction, to align our aspirations and actions with what we need for universal health care. A milestone on the journey towards this national dream of universal access to quality health care. The supply of health products and technologies is a key pillar towards the realization of UHC. Medicine is only important if it reaches people. Surgical supplies only makes a difference if they are in a theater room. On October 2023, just last month, I assented to 4 bills, namely the Primary Healthcare Act 2023, the Digital Health Act 2023, the Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023, and the Social Health Insurance Act 2023. These laws provide the legal framework and institutional foundation to accelerate the attainment of UHC. And I want to thank legislators in our country, both in the National Assembly and Senate, for doing their bit to actualize this firm legal and institutional foundation. This effort towards universal health coverage is a whole of society engagement. Those of us in the executive, the good people in the legislature, and also the good people in our judiciary. It will take the whole lot of us to work together for us to achieve this very important aspiration for all of us as Kenyans. For 37 years, MEDS has played a leading and significant role in the supply of medical commodities in Kenya and beyond. Since the advent of devolution, MEDS has supplied over 7.5 billion shillings worth of medical commodities to counties and government institutions, playing a complementary role to KEMSA. I encourage the two organizations to strengthen their partnership to exploit opportunities that will benefit Kenyans in especially the health space. The coming together, the partnership and collaboration will not only benefit the institutions, but it will also benefit our health provision ecosystem in its totality. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda envisions consolidation of our medical commodity needs to leverage economies of scale and the bulk purchase of medical supplies. Together, KEMSA and MEDS meet over 80% of the medical supplies needs across the country. Over the past few months, I have presided over the opening of several pharmaceutical manufacturing plants in Kenya. I am glad to note that MEDS sources over 81% of their supplies locally. And I want to congratulate MEDS because I have given the same instructions to KEMSA that going forward, local manufacturers take precedence over imports, with 36% of that being directly from local manufacturers. Local manufacturing is essential to UHC. Lowering the cost of drugs and medical supplies will make the system sustainable, it will make it affordable, and it will make it work for everybody. I want to extend an invite to investors to exploit this space and develop manufacturing plants in Kenya from where they can sell locally and also across our region. As I told manufacturers that we are not only going to use affirmative action to make sure that we buy locally manufactured pharmaceutical commodities, products, and technologies, but as government, we are also going to provide an ecosystem and a fiscal incentives to support companies that want to manufacture from Kenya. Last week, we gazetted another special economic zone in Thika. And out of the 500 acres of that special economic zone, 100 acres is going to be dedicated to companies that want to manufacture pharmaceutical products and commodities in Kenya. We will shortly be rolling out the infrastructure, roads, water, electricity in that facility. And therefore, my offer to companies who want to manufacture in Kenya is going to be concrete and real in the next couple of months. Listening to the representative of USAID, he made a very profound statement on what we saw during the COVID pandemic, that it is possible for medical products to be nationalized, and it is possible for countries to hoard and to refuse to sell their commodities to others. And therefore, having local manufacturing capacity is an insurance for us of supply, even when we have difficult times globally. Through partnerships, MEDS, an indigenous organization, has served several regional countries and responded to various humanitarian crisis within the region and globally. MEDS has delivered medical supplies to Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Sudan, Somalia, Chad, Malawi, DRC, Cameroon, Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, Libya, Philippines, Haiti, Afghanistan, and Syria. I am happy to note that MEDS has the capability to replenish the service delivery kits of community health workers and promoters supporting the continuous provision of preventive health care. And I want to thank Chair for the offer you have made for our community health promoters. The 150 kits you have offered today will add on to the 100,000 we have already given to all our community health promoters around Kenya. We know there are still some gaps, and your offer is very much welcome. I was listening very carefully, Bishop, and you said that you will work with us to replenish the commodities and the products that are currently available and being used by our community health promoters. And I underline the word you said, that you will provide them affordably. That is very important. And so we will hold you to your word. And we Through the Facility Improvement Finance Act 2023, the government has committed to improving the infrastructure of health facilities in the country. I am glad that MEDS has a well-established health system strengthening unit and a medical equipment supplies unit that I just saw this morning that will support this objective. Through this capacity building arm, MEDS has trained over 40,000 health workers, and I hereby challenge our institutions of higher learning, universities, and TVETs to pursue industry-focused training solutions to bridge the existing knowledge gaps. I would really encourage our universities that are training our medical personnel and even our TVETs to engage in industry training. We will shortly be rolling out a policy on how they can beneficiate and they can commercialize that activity. The government will work with the private sector to actualize universal health. We will review the tax regime and cost of doing business in the pharmaceutical sector to make Kenya a regional pharmaceutical manufacturing hub. And as I said, apart from what we will be doing in our special economic zones, apart from ensuring that we prioritize local manufactured commodities in our purchase, we will also continuously work with R&Ds to make sure that we not only supply our medical commodities to Kenya, but we also have a hub around here so that we can supply to the rest of the globe. Looking at what KEMSA has managed to do, about 19 countries, it gives us very clear hope that it is possible to go beyond our borders. Let me also confirm what the spiritual leaders asked me earlier about the participation of the church and religious organizations in the new network that we are rolling out for making sure that our health delivery is truly bottom-up, starts from the village, and our primary care networks, beginning with dispensaries, health centers, graduating into sub-county hospitals, and on, become a relationship and a partnership between government, the private sector, religious organizations, non-governmental organizations, civil society, because we want a whole of society approach in the management of this very important sector. And that is why it is now in law that people running health facilities that are managed by missions and managed by churches will be part and will participate in the governance of our primary care networks. We were deliberate about this because we see that there is a lot of value to be derived by mission hospitals and hospitals run by the private sector participating in the governance of the space around our health, because we truly want to make it universal. Minister Nakumicha will tell you, beginning this week, we will actually be having a conversation on regulations that are going to inform what kind of charges people pay on health insurance. We want a robust conversation. The religious leaders who met me earlier said they want to be part of that conversation, and I want to tell you, you're welcome to be part of that conversation. That conversation must determine how much somebody like the president pays and how much Mama Mboga pays. And my suggestion is that payment of health insurance should be commensurate to people's income, so that those who cannot afford pay less, and those who cannot afford, we can then finance them as government. Because I did make a commitment that health is not a luxury. Health is not something that anybody should miss because of their financial status. The indigents, the people who cannot pay, will be paid for by the government of Kenya. Those who can pay, depending on their ability, should pay depending on their ability. And those of us who can pay more should know that we are paying more so that we can carry those who are not as endowed as we are. But that is not a conversation for me to decide. That is a conversation for Kenyans to decide. And I want to welcome all of us as stakeholders, as people who will benefit from this. And in any case, the Constitution demands of us that any action we take, we must bring the public on board. It is a constitutional imperative that public participation be part and parcel of all our processes. So again, good luck with that conversation, and it is my intention that before 1st of January, we must have settled that conversation so that we can effectively make sure that all Kenyans have access to universal health. Reverend Asilutua, Bishop of Maseno North, did mention that you want to benefit from my advice, and I don't want to leave here before at least I say something about it, so that whatever Bishop says doesn't go to waste. The same thing we are doing with KEMSA. We have made it absolutely clear that the era of wastage and pilferage and theft and corruption must be firmly behind us. And we want to leverage on technology. We are willing as government to support meds. In the rollout of technology, if you need our support around technology to make sure that you manage your ecosystem from supply from one end all the way to delivery on the other end, we are currently working with KEMSA to make sure that technology becomes part of the equation and becomes an enabler of the delivery of service. And that is the reason why members of parliament passed the digital health bill, so that it becomes part of the legislation that will underwrite and form the foundation for us to deliver health using technology and using digitization to eliminate what has bedeviled NHI for a long time: fake claims, crooked people who take advantage of that space. We believe that technology is going to give us the levers to be able to deal with fake claims, to deal with pilferage, and to make sure that Kenyans get value for every pain, every coin, and every penny that they contribute. So we are ready to work with you around the space, around technology. That's number one. Number two, leveraging on the economies of scale. Again, we want to work with you to see how commodities, we can reduce the price by sourcing commodities together and using the economies of scale to do that. And also that we can also work together towards promoting local manufacturers by making sure that we give them priority. I'm sure we can talk a little bit more about other interventions as we go into the future, but your ideas, your suggestions are very welcome as we continuously improve this space around delivery of health. I congratulate MEDS for this great achievement once again, and reiterate that the journey towards universal health coverage is a relay that involves almost every entity in the health sector. We are all connected, and if we work together, nothing can stop us from success. And I'm very clear about that. Asanteni sana, God bless you, and you've done a wonderful job. Asanteni sana.